A lot of people have been questioning my mental framework. Am I losing it? Am I having a nervous breakdown? Am I perhaps meeting too many lesbians? That kind of a thing. And I've met lesbians before, and I like lesbians. Lesbians are very much a part of my life. I enjoy the camaraderie, the inner sanctum, the gratefulness that lesbians and I have shared. And also another question about my mental framework. Are you skittish, Rich? You seem to be off balanced. You seem to be kind of, well, crazy. And folks, I am very calm and very cool and collected. And this has a lot to do with the fact I've mentioned several of times Reverend Ike, the SLA. I had a fond recollection of the SLA back in the 70s when I was a lad. I used to follow the whole Patty Hearst thing. I met Patty Hearst at the Capwell's department store in downtown Oakland when she was 19, the summer of 1974. And I met several lesbians then, even though I was only 12 years old. I was born in 62 and got to meet Patty Hearst, even though she was from a very large and very successful and big time family worth, millions and millions, now billions of dollars, the Hearst family. I got to meet Patty Hearst. Not a row kind of a deal. I wasn't, oh wow, but I got to meet Patty Hearst. And then, for God's sakes, later on in the winter into 74, she was kidnapped by the SLA, the seven-headed cobra. Remember that? I'm not skittish. That's another word. Are you skittish? Anyway, but Patty Hearst. Yeah. Mom, Dad, I'm no longer Patty. I'm Tanya. And I have joined the revolutionary, yada, 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 all that stuff. So I pay attention to things. And although I am a confirmed heterosexual, speaking of lesbians, the fact that I have met women and talked to women of all persuasions, political, social, um, personal people who have told me that, hey, get out in the open, just talk about shit and go on YouTube and the hell with the media thing. Just be you, whether it's skittish or not. We just want to know that you're okay, you're all right, that kind of thing, yada, 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 all that stuff. What an apropos term, yada, yada, yada. And I can say unequivocally that I am. I have had personal setbacks, which some of you know, some of you don't know. Yes, I've had several relationships, obviously pen pals and things of that nature with regards to lesbians. Some who were heterosexual, the lesbians, before they met me, then they became lesbians. And I don't know what to make of that. Perhaps, and that's a great deal of it, perhaps it has caused me to become sort of the person that I am. But I can tell you this, I am stable. I am fairly benign. I have opinions about everything. Laura Owens, Ron Owens, Pete Giddings, Reverend Ike, Patty Hearst, lesbians, heterosexuals, you know, Ruth Buzzy, who, by the way, I got to meet also. So you're going to give me some crap of whether I'm stable or not. Ruth Buzzy, she died recently, was a very underrated woman, a very powerful woman in my life who got to know me well. And I don't mean know like, we were hopscotching in bed and all that. But the woman was very, very nice and very careful, very calm, was an influence in my life, was Ruth Buzzy. Same thing with other people, Carna Small, Pete Giddings, Jerry Jensen, Adam Copeland, Brian Copeland. They all influenced my life. Brian Murphy, even though we've had run ins and verbal gaffes and this, that, and the other. People ask me again, are you skittish? Are you skittish? Are you coming unglued? Folks, I'm just very animated. I'm also very impatient. But then again, I'm Jewish. And that's kind of part of the trademark. That's sort of the makeup. It's a stereotype. It's very glaring and all that. But, that's part. I'm unpredictable. I'm unpredictable to myself. Look at me. That's why I try to acquiesce and try to meet people and get out there and not be biased about anything, whether it's Laura Owens or Ron Owens or Jan Black or The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, lesbians, tomboys, people that I've become accustomed to. And unfortunately, even though I'm confirmed heterosexual, many a times, and that's probably what has made me appear to be skittish, it has influenced my direction. It has caused me a great mental strain, even though now I want to make something clear, very, very clear. Yes, I can be animated and I can be sort of the hands moving, speaking of being Jewish, and all this stuff, and the 7-Eleven shitty coffee that I've been drinking lately and for the past 7 months, I still have a sense of being. I can still comment on things that are taking place. And I have tried to be fair. I've had an open mind, whether, again, let me just say it, Ron Owens, Jan Black, Laura Owens. I have exerted myself onto these subject matters and tried to give you a fair and balanced, where'd that come from, opinion without being strewn through the shit that we are enduring in our life these days. Look what all the news is these days. Speaking of Laura Owens, it's dirty. It's dirty. It's like dirty work. Everything is dirty. Can't we all just get along? Can't we all just get along? Whether it's this, that, or the other. I am, and call me naive, I am amazed at the vitriolity, all that. Whether it's gay, straight, lesbians, whatever. This is my life. This is why sometimes, air quotes, sometimes I appear to be disjointed. I appear to be coming off the, I look at this. Well, Rich, there you go again. No, Mr. Reagan in heaven. I'm not going again. I've been consistent. I just haven't been animated before. I react to anything and everything. I like people. Up with people. Down with people. I'm a people person. Even the people that detest me and people that I detest, you have to show a little bit of, you've got to be a little fairer. You got to be a little bit more, or excuse me, less judgmental. Now, I want to say this. There are people out there who are like questioning me right now. I can feel it. Is he really, what the hell's going on with this guy? Is he gay? Is he straight? Is he the thing with the lesbians and all this, that, and the other? Yes, I have met women in the hopes of scoring, not just the traditional method, the everything method, intellectually. Whether it's Marsha Brandwin or Pete Giddings or Adam Copeland or the various people, Smurf and all that. I'm using nicknames now, but you get the point. I have come unglued because I am pissed off at people who think that I'm skittish. I am not skittish. That's why I pay attention to people like James Carville. Lieberman, you're starting to be very crazy, and you're starting to act like like Republicans think their shit doesn't stink, and even though they're winning all the elections and all that, it's getting to be kind of crazy out there. I agree that, James. I do. Folks, and maybe it's the coffee. Maybe I've been drinking too much coffee. And even the shitty coffee that 7-Eleven coffee is, but it's good. I mean, it's like, what are you going to do for what? A couple bucks? I mean, what is Starbucks now? About $18,000 for a cup of coffee. Anyway, my point is look, I try to give a fair opinion here. I've tried to get to the heart and soul of the matter, the clarity, as I call it, the truth about just what the hell is going on with Ron and Jan. And I made calls and texts and emails and schmeemails and this, that, and gays and straights and lesbians who have met me and basically have come to the same conclusion that you all have. Is this motherfucker, is he skittish? And I am not skittish. I'm just a little more animated than usual because I'm pissed and I have this kind of frenetic energy and I don't know what the hell to do with it. You know, maybe it's the want and the yearning for memberships and people joining me and becoming a part of this extravaganza and watching things and developing a kinship and an enjoyment for being on various shows. Now, you could put it aside and think that I'm being really stupid and crazy here and all that, and you'd have a good case. But, you know, and doing voices and all that stuff and hearing voices and all that. Will Robinson. Oh, God. Anyway, I have no idea why I just did that, but I did it. It fit the moment and all that. Folks, all I want is, yes, clarity and a certain sense of style and transparency. Now, that's one of the things here, too. Are you skittish, Rich? No, I'm not skittish. I've just answered that question and have been very clear. Claire, wouldn't be prudent not to be clear. I'm clear. You're clear. No, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it. Everything, you know. Who are we? Why are we here? Maybe it's a little bit too philosophical and all that. Maybe people investigate my love life. What am I? What am I? Is he gay? Is he the Pope? He's never been married. What the hell is going on here, for God's sakes? I love women. Let me set the record straight. Women are the greatest species on the planet. Women, unlike men, don't start wars. I mean, well, except Margaret Thatcher and Imelda Marcos and Indira Gandhi and Golda Meir. But by and large, it's the men who start the wars and all that shit. And look, my own personal life is off base. It really is. Don't make me the subject of your investigations, whether I'm skittish or not. Who the hell cares whether I'm skittish? You can all size this shit up right now. Oh, he's just trying to get clicks and hits. No, I'm not. No, like the man who said on Masterpiece Theater, no. I am trying to become useful and to provide for you folks, you guys, a forum to which you could be proud, you could be happy, you could say, hey, I was there when that son of a bitch was talking about meeting lesbians who, when he met them, were not lesbians, who were heterosexuals. And when they met Rich, they became lesbians. That's the story of my life, folks. Skittish? No. Frustrated? Yes. And it's all encompassing. I'm the only one who's going to admit this right now. My relationships, my personal trials and tribulations have been well documented within the framework of Channel 7 and Channel 5 and CNN and MSNBC and all that. And it's been well known. I am a shy guy, actually, very shy. I'm the kind of guy who meets a woman for lunch and does the cutesy thing and is kind of your inner Alan Alda, you know, very caring, very concerned, very sensitive about women's rights. Women are the greatest species on the planet. Without women, I wouldn't be here today. Does that bother you? Hell yes, I could be skittish then. I come here to go to work for you, despite the fact that, yes, I've got many frustrations in my life. I have people that go out of the way that make my life miserable. I could be on the Bay Bridge getting ready to go through the toll. And when they didn't have those automated pieces of shit, I'd have very good-looking women pay for me, you know, right? They were in front of me. I was behind them. Hey, pay for the guy in the back. I took that as a flirtation. I took that as basically, hey, boy, hey, man, ask me out, that kind of a thing. Take me out to dinner. So I'd go past the, the toll thing when they have the humans and all that. I have to pay the last because they didn't have the money. They had like, whatever it was at the time, $5, and it was $6, so I had to pay the dollar. But I'd go past and I'd wave to the women and they'd go like this to me. They were like teasing me. So to answer this and put a wrap on this son of a bitch, look, I'm here to get the facts. Jack Webb, huh? Friday, just the facts, ma'am. I'm a very calm, cool, collected man, a heterosexual man who loves women, who thinks very highly of women, who is in love with women. Problem is, they're not in love with me. Women who, my opening line to most women these days is, don't scream. But that's another story. I do my best to be here for you guys, to get to the truth, to show clarity, to try to be that person that is your inner Anderson Cooper, your real deal, your Ali Velshi. You know who Ali Velshi? Look it up, Ali Velshi. Pete Giddings, speaking of Pete Giddings, and Marsha Brandwin, great Americans. But it's hard sometimes, folks, to communicate because people have this perception of me. Oh, you big son of a bitch. Oh, you're so skittish. Oh, you suck. All you do is think of your behind. Folks, I am here for you. I have always been here for you. I love you. I admire you. I want to make love tonight. Or everybody Wang Chung tonight. All right, before I go, quick joke, okay? Quick joke before everything else has been on the record. And I'm not skittish, okay? You ready? Quick impression of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, okay? You ready? Quick impression of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. You ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's my impression of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. All right, don't fucking. Yeah, you're going to complain. How much did it cost you to get into this club tonight? Who paid for your drinks? Who gave you that joke that you're shaking your head, but you're going to use it? You're going to use it. All right. The proceeding has been brought to you by the Alameda County Mental Health Department. If you know of somebody in need, if you know of somebody that could be calculated, please go to your favorite website, type in Alameda County Mental Health Department, and think of Rich Lieberman, because now here's the deal. It's getting pretty crazy out there. All right, folks. Hey, the Macy's Thanksgiving. Oh, we did it already. Okay. See you soon.